Hello, everybody. Here we are in our third and final video about the course essentials you need to know for astronomy this semester. Let me go ahead and get the slides up and ready, and we will go ahead and work our way through with a final bit of stuff that I'd really like for you to know, and I'd like to talk to you about, at least via video, rather than just have you read in the syllabus or on parts of Canvas. So this is our final primer for the class, but you may have taken note of all of these images that I've had in the background to start these. Just if people are curious and want to know about such things, a little bit about myself, I am a amateur astrophotographer. So all of these have been my own images. If you're into things like astrophotography, please reach out, let me know. Maybe we can even have a Canvas discussion. One of the things, if it was not the pandemic times, I would really enjoy going out there and giving sort of workshops on how to do astrophotography, or at least Milky Way photography, which I'm relatively okay with. So this final picture is a picture of the Milky Way taken in the summer of 2019 at Chilhowie Lake, not too far from Knoxville. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can communicate and engage with me in the variety of different ways, other than just the live Zoom features. These are more the chat online features. And I want to mention a little bit of student needs, especially since we are dealing with an online class. And of course, anything that's affecting your life is going to affect your success in this class, which I would like to know about if you're willing to share it with me so I can work with you to make sure that you succeed in astronomy. Okay, so let's talk about how to contact and interact with Dr. Lindsay other than the office hours and the live with Dr. Lindsay sessions. The primary way that a lot of you are going to communicate with me is likely via email. And the one thing that I'm going to ask right now, because it makes my life so much easier, especially if it's a grade related or assignment related type email, is when you email me, please, in the subject line, let me know which section of Astronomy 151 you're in. Are you in 001 or are you in 002? So make sure you have that information. You should be able to see it on Canvas. You can see it on my UTK as well. But make sure you put that in the subject line along with what the email is all about. No, or at least put it in the body of the email at the very, very least. That way just save me time and frustration instead of having to check multiple sites to try to hunt down and figure out where I need to go to maximally help you. So it's just a courtesy to me that I'm asking you to do. Hopefully it'll work. All right, so, I do want to say one more thing about email is yes, please feel free to email me. I'm very, very happy to email. I try to have a 100% response rate. Of course, some emails fall through the cracks. If you don't hear from me after a few days, don't feel guilty or don't feel bad. Just send me another email. I probably just missed it. I do get a lot of emails with over 440 students this semester. I get a lot of emails. And then I have my other side of my work life, which has a lot of emails as well. So do reach out, do email me. I will try to respond. Usually I try to respond that day. I do try to respond as fast as possible, but I don't live on email, although I probably live on email more than I should, but we're all works in progress, right? So feel free to email me. If you have a class question, however, like, oh, I wanted some help with this specific homework question, or I wasn't understanding what was going on with the Stefan Boltzmann's law, something like that, something that would be relevant to the whole class. If you're having a question, other people are probably having the same question. This is why I have Canvas discussions. I have the Canvas discussions. There's a discussion on every week worth of material, and there's a discussion on every homework assignment, and then other discussions as well. But those ones are great for asking me course content related material for help and assistance and further guidance on some of the tougher concepts in class. If you have the question, I safely say that other people probably have the same question. And if you put it on the appropriate Canvas discussion, then I have the ability to sit there, prepare a thoughtful response, embed images, things like that, anything I think that's necessary to help convey the information. I'm not just going to give away answers. I'm going to try to walk you to you discovering the right answer. But then other people can benefit by seeing the response or the back and forth, or other students can jump in if they think they know the answer and I haven't responded yet. I love peer-to-peer learning. It is such an effective way to teach, well, each other, since I wouldn't be a part of it at that point, but I will come along and I will throw in my couple of cents. The TAs will be there as well. But by posting the Canvas discussions, we all benefit. And these could be course material. If it's a class policy, definitely put it in one of the Canvas discussions so we all can be clear on the class policies. So I just want to make sure that I really encourage you for the larger class related stuff to find the appropriate Canvas discussion and post it there. I check regularly, and then we all benefit from a common forum where we can see the answers. Of course, if you don't want to share that information publicly or don't want your name associated with it, you are perfectly fine just emailing me, and yes, I will respond. Uh, so please think about using the Canvas discussions. If you see a question there that you really, really like and you had it too, you can signal that you also had that question. You can upvote it in a way by liking it. And then I might end up providing more information than I normally would, or it'll really call to attention that, hey, this is an important thing that I need to give further instruction on. So if there isn't a topic on the Canvas discussions that you would like to discuss, email me about it and we can create discussions. I want you to feel like you have a voice in this class. I want you to feel like this is more than you're just a student in a class. You're a member in this astronomy community where we're all trying to learn about the universe and specifically for this class, the solar system. All right, so I've really already hammered in a lot of the points that the Canvas discussions are really going to be our hub of deeper interaction. But I need to go ahead and let you know that participation in discussions is not mandatory. And that really means I'm not grading discussions. I think grading coercion to get you to discuss things is really just a way, it doesn't sit well with me ethically. And then it is a way for basically a lot of people to put things that are rather empty and they're just doing it to get a score, a point. It's motivating the wrong thing. I want things that are posted to have meaning, and that meaning being needing help on learning and understanding the course content. So I'm not going to force you to participate in any of the discussions. They're not mandatory. There's not a part of the grade. It's not even going to be worth extra credit if you post a whole lot. I think that's incentivizing the wrong thing. The goal is learning, not getting a grade. And I've tried to make my course policies reflect that. I mean, see the 2 attempt policy for that, where we want to learn from our mistakes. It's all about learning and not about jumping through hoops so you get a grade. I want to motivate the proper thing, education, not grade, not scoring. So I am not going to force you to participate in the discussions. But the discussions are a great way for us to push past the regular course content, for you to gain more out of this class, for it to be a full experience rather than just a content delivery system. And the way you can really push the boundaries of this class and make this class something that's memorable, and memorable not just for you, but for everybody else, is by participating in the discussions. So please participate in the discussions. The more they're used, the better they are for everybody. And I know it's uncomfortable at first, but just get used to it. It gets a little bit better if you ever wanted something posted and you don't want to personally post it, email me and I can post it for you and I'll keep your name out of it, so everything's anonymous. There are some primary rules, and those are: be civil, courteous, and understanding. We are working as a community here, and we want this community to be a healthy one where people feel comfortable. Because if we feel comfortable and we feel like we're a part of the environment, then we are more willing to participate. And through this participating and building this trust that this is a place, an environment that is a healthy one for learning astronomy and experiencing the course, then participation will go up and everybody will increase their ability to learn. And come on, that's the goal here, is for us to learn. Our goal, neither my goal nor your goal, is to sit here and judge one another. We're all coming from a variety of backgrounds. We all have different life backgrounds. We have different educational backgrounds, and let's be accommodating for that. Maybe you were lucky enough to go to a school where it was standard for you to take calculus and standard for students to take calculus too. Other places that hasn't happened. So I'm not going to be judging anybody based on the background they've been coming in on. What I am going to be doing is facilitating. And if people need to get caught up, I'm going to help them get to where they need to be. I'm asking all of you to lend me a hand in that. And let's all work together and applaud one another for making progress forward. And to do that, we need to be civil, courteous, and understanding of one another. There could be cases where things get off the rails and there are problems, and I will not condone it. If there are any cases of clearly inappropriate behavior, sexism, racism, bullying, just plain out making fun of people, uh, laughing at somebody's comment, anything like that won't be tolerated by me. I will step back from a guide and be a force of power. I will delete those comments. I will remove them. I will not feel bad about it. And if the violation is egregious enough, it's going straight to student conduct. So let that be a warning to you. I mean, I work my hardest to make this a good space for everybody, a good environment for all of us to learn. But I am not going to tolerate inappropriate behavior. This is not the space. It will destroy this learning environment, and I cannot have this. This is a class for every one of my students to feel like they can succeed in, and I will do everything I can to make it so you can succeed. Some additional things to help you succeed, and I was glad I went over all these rules of civility beforehand because they become extra important whenever I'm adding a live chat feature. And what I've done is in previous semesters, I was lucky enough to get invited into a GroupMe for a online section of this class, and it was perhaps the best educational experience I've ever had. So I've made the GroupMe for our class, and I want to go ahead and tell you right now because I know people create their own GroupMes. Every class out there has a GroupMe, and you might want to say, "I don't want my professor in my GroupMe. That's weird. I can't cheat. I can't post homework questions." And I can't really stop you from creating those. I will, if people see them and they want to report them to me, I will do something about it. And I encourage people to do that because cheating is cutting the fairness out of this class and giving other people an unfair advantage. Turns out people don't like that. But I do want to tell you why you might want to be in the instructor created GroupMe. And I will treat myself as a guest. This is your space, but it gives you access to me. One, by the fact that I'm there, you're going to get access to the creator of the content. I can send you reminders of when things are due. I can give you feedback that you can trust. I can explain stuff so that you can actually learn and succeed on your own and then help others. So please make use of the GroupMe. It was one of the best experiences. If you run into any of my former students, or if you are one of my former students and you want to advocate for how great it was to have your professor in the GroupMe, please put it in the GroupMe. But the reason that I like having this as an option in this class is it's really great for fast and direct communication. You have a question, you can put it there. Somebody's going to answer it pretty immediately. And I check this pretty regularly. I love interacting with you this way. So likely I'll be the person providing you with the information, and hopefully you can trust your instructor to give you good information. So great for immediate questions and responses. Unfortunately, GroupMe is a little bit bad for reviewing. Nobody likes scrolling up for hours to see what people were talking about yesterday. Or maybe that's where reminders or homework help was. It's not very searchable. And the one thing I don't particularly like about it is whenever I'm providing the explanations to all of you, it's really easier for me to type explanations of complex astronomical concepts rather than tapping them out on a phone. So those are the goods and the bads of the GroupMe, but it's out there and hopefully it'll enrich this class. As an alternative, this is, I asked students last semester what they would like for a live chat platform, and Discord was a wildly popular one. Apparently I'm old because I was suggesting Slack and I got Discord instead. So I've created a Discord server, and this offers the fast direct communication just like GroupMe does, but it also offers channels with text and voice chat, which I've created some voice chats that I'll pop in. Typically, if I'm gonna have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, which I have a lot of those, I'll just pop into that voice chat and you wanna say hello or talk about something, you see me in there. We can start up a conversation. There's one for studying. So if you're working on homework, and you can pop into that. And maybe if I see a whole bunch of people are in there working, I'll pop in and offer help if you all are having trouble. It's easy to post materials, pictures, documents, things like that. It's easy to review. You can search it. So it has a whole lot more utility than GroupMe, but it's a lot more complicated and a little bit less private. People can see what you're up to. It feels more exposed. So I can understand that people might prefer GroupMe. I don't know which one of these is going to be the most popular platform. That's part of the experiment I'm running this year. So use them both. Use the one that you prefer. I'll be monitoring both of them unless one of them becomes wildly unpopular, and then I'll consolidate. And finally, I want to say something about student needs. I kind of hit this whenever I was talking about a lot of it whenever I was talking about the fairness of my discussions. But I want to let you all know I really miss being in a lecture class too. This asynchronous format is not my favorite way to deliver content. After last semester, I can say that I am more of a fan of the format than I was previously. And I think that's because of the work that I put into creating a product that I'm proud of. And I think it works pretty well as an educational experience. That said, I know some people just don't learn well online. I apologize for that. Reach out to me. I'll do what I can to make sure that you can succeed in this class. I do wish I was in the lecture hall with all of you. I think that is the best way to provide education, but let's make the best of what we have available. And online does offer some pretty neat utilities by really focusing us and forcing us to do engagement outside of the classroom. Also, this coronavirus pandemic has really exacerbated student needs, everybody's needs, really. This comes from technology, mental health, finances, time, pretty much you name it. You probably got a strain on it due to the pandemic. We're all over it. We can't wait for us to be able to return, and hopefully we have a regular fall 2021. But if anything is affecting what you think will be your success in this class, coronavirus induced or otherwise, please let me know, and let me know early on. Do so via private communication. Those are probably things you don't want to let the whole world know unless you want to just complain and vent about the pandemic and online life being just so draining sometimes. You're fine publicly venting about that. But in a lot of cases, you probably want to share that oh, excuse me. We want to share that as a private communication. And what I'll do is I'm going to do my best. I try to approach each and every student with the value that you all deserve and the respect that you all deserve. And I'm going to do what I can to work with you to make sure that you actually learn and succeed in this class. That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on your education and your success, and I will do what I can to make that happen. And I'll end with, I really do hope that this online class ends up breaking your perceptions of how online classes are, and it ends up being educational, enjoyable, and hopefully quite memorable where you're thinking about it years down the road. That's it for my course essentials. Thank you for bearing with me for this rather dry material. If you need a boost, go watch that Our Place in the Universe, or start posting about it because I want to interact with you. I want to know what your reactions are to that video and understanding where we are on this tiny little planet in orbit around a relatively small star that's awash in the sea of empty vastness that we call space. And what is space? Let's talk about that next week. I'll see you in that content video and many others this semester.